You've talked before about how you really don't believe in momentum, game to game and series, things like that. With that, how much does this Game 7 maybe feel like a clean slate in your mind for both teams?
Yeah, I think the puck drops and momentum will change over the course of the game, but more so even true in Game 7s. The finality of it, nobody's practicing tomorrow, right? There's no video tomorrow. So there's this kind of clean slate because both teams have fought real hard to get to the very end.
Left side, fourth row, Sean.
That said, I think I saw somewhere this last three game the score is as lopsided as it's ever been in a three-game stretch through the Cup Finals. They've had at least a 3-goal lead in each of these games. I know you said you've liked a lot of patches of your game in that time. So
I like Game 5.
Are you guys closer to being the dominant team in a game again than the results would suggest?
I don't know, the first part of your question saddened me to the point that I don't know if I have an answer for the back half of your question. I don't think dominance factors in this at all. The expectation that you would hit the ice and dominate the other team, Game 4 would tell you that they did in that one. I would tell you that it doesn't matter. We're not coming to dominate the game, we're coming to play it. It wouldn't factor into anything that I would think or do today or tomorrow. I don't know that I answered the question.
Right side.
Yeah, I don't feel that would be something that I've processed if we're closer to dominance. I don't feel that.
I don't think I'm like focusing in on the word dominant, but it looks like they have been a clear better team by their results over the last little while.
Okay.
But you like where you are, so from the outside it looks like
Well,
they're starting to walk away from it.
Yeah.
Series. How close are you to turning that tide based on where you are right now?
Oh, no, that till tomorrow night. Like I said, I like Game 2 and 5 especially. We lost one of those, but in terms of style, I think there were blocks of time. 2 on the front end of the game, 5 on the back end of the game, and even 6 on the back end of the game that we were really strong defensively and found a way to generate some offense. I like that. Game 4 is the game we will decide that it's an aberration for us. And then it wouldn't matter in my mind how close the other were based on chances for and against. We're a good enough team to win without dominance.
Right side, second row.
Paul, I understand you're looking at one game, you're not looking at the big picture, but at the same time, the big picture is all that matters in Game 7, right? Is this winning it is the big picture.
I think you were right when you started.
Okay, fine. But
and you just ran right off the rails.
I did run right off, but I got to ask, is this not just for you, but for everybody, career-defining, legacy-defining moment?
I will let you know at the end of it.
How do you, other than talking to us 6 more times, how do you not drive yourself nuts over the next 32 hours with, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, we can try this? How do you not overplay this until puck drop?
Well, so the question that I'm going to answer is based on the question that I hear, and that is, how do you fill the time and control your mind in the idea of what ifs or what you could do? But we've had a very strong, clear structure for the last 3 days in my mind that would have probably started. I did something out of my routine, and probably because it was a 6 o'clock game, I did the game after Game 6, and I rarely do that. So by the time I got up the next day, I had 3 days done. Maybe not all the details, but how each day was going to be framed to the team. And that will fill your day, and it will fill your mind. So there isn't really time or aberration. This will be, the quiet time kind of will be between now and the morning skate. What happens from the morning skate to the game time, there'll be a new set of emotions to that, and we'll deal with them. We have some experience to that. So My day is full enough and my direction is clear enough that I don't have any moments of what if. We're doing this, this is what we're doing.
Right side, first row.
You've been in Game 7s before, but not like this with the 3 straight lows. How do you kind of get,
I appreciate how fast you blasted over those words. That was kind of you.
well, I try, to get guys that haven't really done a whole lot, to have not only short memories, but the knowledge that everything can be forgiven, forgotten, whatever, tomorrow in that Game 7. If you score, if you win, none of this beforehand matters.
If you've handled the why of where you're at, and that would be hockey, right? Specific hockey details. So we would handle the why of it. Then you don't carry it forward. I understand every one of your questions in terms of why you would ask them, because there's a far bigger contextual story that means nothing to me now, but it means everything to you, right? That's the stories you have to write. That's actually what makes this whole thing awesome, is the context of it. So nobody ever has played on a backdoor rink in Canada and scored the Game 3 overtime winner in the qualifying round. Ever. It's one game always that excites you. And that is the context of this game, and the one that we will live in that context.
Left side, first row.
Paul, what's your sense of how Sergei's handling the 3-game losing skid from a mental perspective?
Oh, I liked his game, his last game. I thought he was strong and solid. Now, we were kind to him. We didn't give up a shorthanded breakaway to start the game. I thought that was good of us. Cut down on those for him and gave him a chance. We'll try that. We're going to try that again tomorrow. But he looked good. I thought he looked good in the game. He looked solid.
We'll take 2 more questions for Coach. Right side, fourth row.
Hi, Paul. Kenzie Lone with TSN. With today being that final full team practice, what did you want to see from your guys when you left the ice today?
Certain details and how much they're talking to each other. Just kind of a vibe feel. So we ran slightly different drills. Some of it's contextual. Some of it's just when we order them, how we move. You're just watching to see how they move around each other. What are the natural conversations that start? How much of them are hockey specific and mood specific? And that's where you start to build your feel of what the room is, where it's going to get to. We've been like a family here for a long time. Somebody, what did you say, 209 with exhibition? 209 games on the core of this group over the last 2 years. So we all know each other. And what I would want then as a coach when I'm on the ice to make that we are talking to each other like we know each other, like we've built these relationships, and they've been intense relationships and intense environments, that we're still talking to each other the same way that we normally would.
Last question, second row.
Just on Sergei, he hasn't taken off practice days previously in this series. Is there a reason? Is it just you wanted to give him extra
So
rest?
he would be in all that rotation in all of the playoffs. The difference for us is the 2-game blocks. So he almost never skates the day before a game and would always go morning.
But he has been in this series.
Correct. But not on the off day in between single days. For the start, the off days and the single days didn't skate and would skate in the morning. So in the first 4 games, there was 1 day in between. He didn't skate on those days. So as we've gotten to the further, wanted to get him back
Okay,
into the
all right.
routine of
I
not
got
the
that.
day before. So it's actually to get back to an actual repeatable pattern, even though the days aren't lined up the same way.